I'm Andrew Hamada. I've been a professional web designer and web developer for the past 8 years. A couple of years ago I decided I wanted to go back to school to change fields. I wanted to end up working in marketing and advertising. ResumeGuru is a website at resumeguru.us. They do resume evaluations, cover letter evaluations, and they do revisions on both of those documents. When I first heard about it, I thought that I didn't really need it. Like a lot of people, I thought that I'd done my due diligence on making sure that my resume was the best it could be. I'd gotten a couple of great templates off the web, and I'd read a bunch of articles on best practices for how to present yourself, and I'd had several different people read my resume, and they thought it was great, and they gave me some minor changes that I used, so I really didn't think that it was something that I would ever need. Ultimately, having been through the process now, it's something that I absolutely recommend to everyone, whether you think you need it or not, especially if you don't think you need it like I did. I heard about ResumeGuru on Twitter, actually. Someone retweeted a free evaluation offer that they had, and I figured, at the time I was looking for an internship, and I figured, why not? Another set of eyes to read the resume, and it's someone that doesn't know me, so maybe that's a little less biased, so I took them up on the free evaluation offer. After I got that back, they pointed out a lot of things immediately that made me suspect that maybe I didn't know as much as I thought I did about the process and what makes a good resume, so I ended up purchasing one of their packages. The ResumeGuru interview process was all online. It was very extensive. It was a lot of really detailed, very specific questions, which honestly was kind of intimidating for me because I was expecting to just hand over a document and have someone send something back to me a few days later saying, do this, do this, do this, make these changes, when in reality they were asking me to do a lot of thinking on my own. I think that was really valuable because a lot of the questions they were asking forced me to rethink about how I was presenting myself and how I was talking about the things that I'd accomplished at my jobs, rather than just talking about what my responsibilities were. I think that it was very clear to me right away the value of the interview process because a lot of the questions they were asking were very similar to questions I got asked a lot in job interviews in the past about things that hadn't been on my resume, and it never occurred to me that maybe I should be putting those things up front, and that might move me further up in the selection process. When I first got a draft back of my revised resume, I saw that they'd really taken into account a lot of the things that I said in the interview, but they'd also taken it a step further by organizing a lot of my job descriptions and changing them from lists of responsibilities to lists of accomplishments and things that I had done to make a measurable difference at the jobs that I'd been working at. They were included things that I never thought about listing, like numbers regarding how well I'd performed, how much of a change that my work had made at the company. The final documents were great. The layout was fantastic. I felt that it communicated in about the same amount of space a whole lot more information about me and why I was valuable to prospective employers. Because I'm a designer, I did a lot of fiddling aesthetically, but that was me being really nitpicky. I think that the ultimate document was ready to go and ready to be submitted as soon as. Prior to using ResumeGuru, my job search I felt pretty good. Whenever I was looking for a job, I'd jump on Craigslist and Monster and the Seattle Times and whatnot, and I'd look for a bunch of positions. I'd apply to 50 or 60 usually. Of those, I think I'd get about 4 to 5 interviews, and after those interviews, I'd usually end up with 1 or 2 job offers, which was all I really wanted. Since I got the revised resume back, my job search process has been relatively straightforward. I took it, and there was one marketing internship in particular that I really wanted. I applied for it a week after getting my documents back. A week and a half later, I had an interview, and a week and a half after that, I'd gone through a second and third interview, and I had an offer. So I don't have a wide variety of experience using the resume yet, but I'm batting 1,000, and that's good enough for me. Given my experience and my success with my resume since ResumeGuru, I'd absolutely recommend it to everyone I know, especially the people who, like me, were skeptical and think that their resumes are absolutely in the best shape they can be in. Let me tell you, I thought that, and the difference it makes having HR professionals actually go through and point these things out to you, especially if you can be a little open-minded about it, was very good and very helpful. Not only because it made the document better, but because it made me think more critically about what I had to offer, and it ended up giving me a lot more confidence in talking about myself and talking about the things that I've accomplished in interviews.